MAGA Mike Johnson has basically admitted to what we all already know is true. That President Donald Trump is not right in the head.
The president is unhinged. He is unwell. What are you doing? A lot of folks
on your side are too. I don't control.
Oh my God, please. That performance in front of the generals, that
I didn't see it.
is so dangerous. You know I serve on foreign affairs and appropriations. This is a collision of those two things. Our allies are looking elsewhere. Our enemies are laughing.
I just left
you
the
have a
speaker's
president
side.
who is you have a president who is unwell.
That was Representative Madeleine Dean saying what we've all been thinking. Trump, not right in the head. Okay, I call him personally the Mad King. And it's not for no reason, obviously. Yes, he's the Mad King. And look, I love this exchange because it's not just about what Johnson said. Obviously, he didn't come out there and admit that, oh yeah, that guy's crazy. You know, he's ooh. No, it's what he didn't say. I mean, what he did say was, a lot of folks on your side are too. After she had said, the president is unhinged, he is unwell. Well, you guys are too. Well, wait, what? What do you mean too? What do you mean too? I mean, hold on. Now, I can think of one person on the Democratic side that does have some issues. That's John Fetterman. The man literally has brain damage as a result of a stroke, okay? And funny enough, you know, he is now more well-liked by Republicans than his own voters. Oops. Other than Fetterman, right, who else is in a position of power on the Democratic side that is showing evidence of mental decline? And I say that because, I mean, look, Joe Biden. Ah, is he in a position of power? No, he's not president anymore. In fact, he stopped his re-election campaign, okay, because people were like, hey, is Joe Biden okay? Is he all right upstairs? So, yeah. Look, Donald Trump, he is in mental decline. Everyone knows it. It is incredibly obvious. The rambling speech that he gave to the generals was filled with lies and paranoid delusions, okay? No, oh, it's an invasion from within. An invasion. Paranoid. But, you know, to be fair, Mike Johnson, he didn't see it. He didn't watch it, which is surprising. I mean, wait, you're telling me the Speaker of the House was not watching a televised gathering of the nation's highest-ranking defenders? Really? That seems a little weird. What were you doing then, Mike? What were you doing? What were you paying attention to then? The people need to know. People want to know. I don't know. Seems like either that's like a little weird, okay, because maybe he was doing something else, maybe crashing Grinder. I don't know. But or maybe that's just the best excuse that he could come up with in the moment. I didn't see it because, you know, he was being cornered by, oh, this dangerous radical leftist, right? I'm sure that they'll be saying that next. Or maybe next he'll be saying, oh, you know, just joking. And when that inevitably does not work, he'll then go on to say that, oh, yeah, no, we were all saying that. And by the way, you know, we're going to defend all this stuff. We're going to defend it. He's fine. TDS. That's all that's going on here. TDS. Basically, he will do just like all the other members of the Republican Party, almost all of them, and try to protect the Mad King. Look, Trump could be running outside the White House naked, okay? And Johnson would be like, you know, Trump, he's got a great suit on today. Yeah, great looking suit on. Trump, you're looking tremendous, Mr. Trump. Sir, come on. He knows, they all know, but they are far too cucked by Donald Trump to do anything about it. They really are. It is so incredibly sad how all of these so-called tough guy Republicans refuse to say anything, okay? Refuse to challenge the Mad King.
Beta male.
It's sad and pathetic. Okay, but I love how Dean had cornered him like that. Now, you can bet, though, he'll be taking steps to prevent that whole thing from happening again. Guy will be ducking in and out of elevators and around doors, okay, before too long. Because the questions are not going to stop. He keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Now, that said, speaking to CNN's Manu Raju after a confrontation with Johnson about that, and by the way, the whole discussion started out with her challenging him on the weird and racist AI slop video that he had posted, showing Hakeem Jeffries, in a sombrero with like a handlebar mustache. Again, it was super weird. And the whole dubbing, AI dubbing with Chuck Schumer being like, oh yeah, we're woke pieces of crap. Here's what Dean said. Quote, he asked me, like rhetorically, is that really racist? Is it? I mean, yeah, it is. It is. And she told him that. And she said, look, it's despicable. You should have called it out. But he didn't. Of course he won't. And then she asked him, did you see what the president did in that performance before the generals? And he said he hadn't seen it, of course. In another video of the exchange, Dean is heard saying, is it racist? You put a sombrero on a black man who's the leader of the House? You don't see that as racist. Well, I mean, whether they see it or not, they don't really care. And that's the overall problem, right? They don't care about it. Yes, they're going to do everything they can to appeal to the racist base. And right now, at this moment, they are trying to pin the government shutdown on illegal immigrants. Seriously. Oh, yeah. Is there anything that they won't blame the immigrants on the immigrants or the radical left? They'll never take any responsibility for anything that they've ever done. Okay? Never. And they're claiming specifically that Democrats were shutting down the government because, I want them illegals to get health care. That's not true. None of it's true. You know what the Democrats want? They want the restoration of Medicaid funding that was stripped out, the nearly $1 trillion in Medicaid cuts that was stripped out of the by the big, beautiful bill, right? They want the extension of the tax credits for the ACA. And they also want to prevent more power being centralized in the executive branch. Because Republicans in this bill wanted to give Russell Vought more power over agencies in order to allow them to strip the funding from these agencies if they don't play ball. Okay? Look, no federal money goes to undocumented immigrants. All right? The fact is that without the tax credits, people's insurance costs are going to go way up. Millions of Americans, they're going to lose out at a time where already there's been so much economic pain from the Trump administration and their tariffs, okay, and inflation that continues to go up and up and up, okay? And look, Democrats are out there, yes, trying to save Trump family's money, Trump voters' money, okay, as well as everyone else. Because again, there are people on Medicaid that are Trump supporters. They're trying to get that money back into Medicaid and trying to save families that have insurance through the ACA exchanges, which also includes Trump voters, okay? Trying to save them from having their insurance go up by, in some cases, 75%. I mean, come on. Democrats are trying to save them money, but Republicans, you know what they're doing? They're pushing a giveaway, $20 billion bailout for Argentina. Argentina. You know, because Trump's buddy Javier Milei has completely obliterated their economy with their changes. That, by the way, what happened in Argentina is what Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, Doge are trying to do here. They look at Argentina as a model of what we should be doing here. So think about that for a minute. Ain't nobody going to bail us out when that inevitably happens. And again, another thing that Republicans want to do is fund ICE more. Okay? And this is after giving massive tax cuts to the rich. Look, these people, Republicans do not give a damn about you. They will fall on their own swords to defend the Mad King and his priorities, because guess what? His priorities are their priorities. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.